Hello everyone and welcome back to Minecraft. It is episode 56 of this series. I just decided to start the episode here. And do you know what? Do you know why I'm so excited? Because I finally get to talk about publishing drama. Oh my god. It's been so long. It's just, oh my god, it's been so long. Yeah, yes, seriously. There has been a topic of conversation that has gone around frickin' Twitter, and I have seen it, and have seen tweets associated with it, and it's an interesting topic, and I have opinions, and other people have opinions, and it's a thing. There's a discussion, and oh my god, dude. What is the discussion? Why am I so excited? I don't know, man. I don't know. Ah, God. I'm almost as excited as potentially seeing the Lakers miss the playoffs for the second year in a row. I'm excited, okay? I was kind of hyping myself up before recording, but, I'm probably not going to be as freaking pumped up. I'm kind of putting it on, just like you do. But, okay, so. Oh, man. Yeah, what's the long story short of it? Did I bookmark a tweet? I bookmarked a tweet. I feel like it started from here. February 26th, Dahlia Adler. Dahlia Adler had, yeah, I guess we're getting into the Twitter segment right now. It's not really the Twitter segment. It's the publishing drama, whatever segment, okay? Okay. Yeah, I think I would think she's in this space, I've started to see the tweets again. So, Dolly Adler started a tweet thread, and she started it with, it's absolutely wild to me that middle grade and YA publishing feel like entirely separate entities, rather than YA looking at middle grade and having books its fandoms can slide right into as they age up. It's such an absurd disconnect. It's such an absurd disconnect. Anyone who knows tweens can see crushing readers in real time, And obviously, okay, I guess I should probably just read the whole entire thing. An extremely unpopular opinion incoming, but I hate all the dismissive takes mocking, what about the boys? My friend's sons are voracious readers of middle grade fantasy adventure who live for their weekly library visits, and I know this will end in a few years. I hate it. And no, it's not because they can't read about girls. It's because what we publish for the perceived target audience of YA is not the same as what they've been loving as middle grade readers, especially if they're not interested in romance, as many teens of all genders aren't. The idea of what comprises the YA audience is a self-fulfilling prophecy of what adult readers and publishing professionals are interested in. And this is because IRL, the YA audience, is the audience that was just the middle grade audience a year or a week or a minute ago. Yeah. Okay, alright. What's true, basically. I found this interesting enough to talk about. Yeah, so, basically, the soul of the topic is basically, should YA try to appeal more towards teen boys? Should YA publishing make a concerted effort to try to appeal more and publish more of the types of stories that teen boys can read, basically? And is an element to it. The other element, I guess, is why doesn't YA publishing have a clear transition of a certain types of books where it's because what she describes is that young tweens, 11, 12, 13-year-old boys who really like read middle grade fantasy, they're into those types of books. But then it's if they age towards 15, 16, 17, it's the transition from middle grade fantasy to YA fantasy is it is pretty wide, it is pretty different. I understand that, and that's a part of the thing that I guess like I found interesting of it, because yeah, I mean, this discussion really is, a lot of it is like fantasy centric, but I guess with all these freaking publishing discussions that have takes that where people are like, why are you saying that? I can just add my own freaking opinion and experience to it. So yeah, that's why. Yeah, and yeah, I guess basically what she's saying is like, why does it feel so like disparate? Why does it feel so freaking different from like middle grade fantasy to YA fantasy? I don't know, a lot of the transition doesn't seem like if you're a boy who reads freaking middle grade fantasy, you age, you enter high school, you become like a sophomore or junior, and then like what kind of YA is there that like specifically kind of appeals to boys of that age? Like, I mean, obviously, first point I'm gonna make of this is that I agree in terms of like fantasy. I agree that freaking it doesn't make sense that there aren't like just generally like, here are the girl fantasy YA books and here are the boy fantasy YA books. But I don't know. It's not that like they should be gendered, but like more so like the ones that would more so appeal to a female audience. Why can't publishing also be like, we think these kind of books would appeal to a male audience? Why shouldn't there be a more concerted effort? Yes, I understand, and I do agree with the point that it's like it is kind of different. And obviously the other point she brings up in that tweet thread of like romance being centered on a lot of those books, right? Middle grade fantasy doesn't center romance. Middle grade in general mostly doesn't center romance, right? Which I like about middle grade stories. It's mostly just like it's extremely character driven, more so than YA. But like it seems like a lot of YA, like romance. If romance isn't just an element of it, romance. There are lots of like YA books where just romance is just the brunt of it. It's romance with a plot on the side rather than like just a plot first. I'd assume. Not everyone, obviously. There's lots of generalizations, but and okay, just disclaimer here. Another disclaimer: if anyone like finds these videos in the future, if I ever have any like success in publishing, and you find these videos and you're listening to me right now, just know that like I'm just speaking from my very, very limited experience. I don't know everything. I just want to talk about this because it's interesting, and like I like sharing my opinions on these things, and I may get like a lot of stuff wrong. I'll try to like correct any like very factual errors like in editing, but like for mostly it's just I just want to share my opinions. I hope like my opinions don't end up aren't like seen as like extremely ignorant or rude. I would hope to just be like thoughtful, but if I don't end up if that isn't the case, I don't know, I apologize in advance, but it's also the fact that I just these are made for me to ramble. So anyways, that's basically just the tweet thread I found. And then there were like, I would assume there were people quote tweeting it. There was one person who quote tweeted it, basically saying like that they were a teen growing up reading in the generation of like teen readers who were reading books like Twilight, Hunger Games, basically like that era, like late 2000s, early 2010s. I'd assume like that. I'd assume it's like early 2010s, basically, right? Where like those were like the main featured books of YA. I keep on talking about that, it's always that, and that like they stopped reading like novels until they got to college, right? Because it's just like there came to be a point where like so many YA books were just like basically romances in disguise, basically, which is like a true thing, I guess. I think it was more truer at the time of the early 2010s than it is now. That is one challenge I somewhat have, is that like I think there are a lot more YA books than most people like point out, who are like outsiders to like the YA freaking age category where, you know, there are a lot more YA books than people realize that don't center romance, you know. They're not, you know, genre romances, to bring up, you know, a thing from an earlier episode. They're more, you know, yeah, they're more love stories, but it's like, yeah, I understand that, you know, romance is still like heavily present in YA, and it absolutely like shouldn't be like a requirement to like, you know, publish a freaking YA book, that like your book or story has to feature a romance. I understand that. Yeah, and also like we obviously like we were seeing like more like examples of like asexuality in books, right? And like there's a lot more like aspiring authors and like, you know, who are like asexual or aromantic and are adding that element to their stories, right? Which is cool, you know. I haven't like read one of them yet, but you know, there's one Alice Oseman book, yeah, Loveless, you know, which features like that, which features those kinds of characters. But other than that, there aren't really that many like prominent examples, you know, especially during like the mid to late 2010s, you know. Yeah. Oh man. So yeah, dude. So once someone quote tweeted saying that like they gave up reading novels, I guess, until college when they discovered literary fiction. And then they go on to say that like YA is a genre that doesn't necessarily like respond to criticism well. Is that you know, YA as an age category isn't, you know, it doesn't really listen to criticism. And then like another thing they said in a tweet thread, related to the original thread, was that, yeah, didn't I like the tweet? I don't think so. Dang, I really should have freaking kept it. I bookmarked the original tweet, but I didn't bookmark the quote tweet. Yeah, the last tweet in that thread was basically saying something like, yeah, oh my god, can I try to remember it? I'll try to bring it up if I can find it. Yeah, probably if I just scroll like down far enough. It's basically, yeah, I think they basically were saying, what is that last tweet in that thread? Please, I'm off my game here. I'm off my game. Yeah, that like YA's, the audience of YA isn't primarily teens, right? And it hasn't been for a long time, basically. Yeah, that's basically one part, I think, of like one of the tweets in the thread. Yeah, and it's a whole thing. It ties into the whole like, you know, eternal struggle as of like the last 10 years, where it's like, you know, what should the audience of YA be? Like, what, like, honestly, what should the audience of YA be? Should it be actual teenagers, or should it like be expanded to like people, you know, in their late teens, early to mid 20s, you know? Or should they just, you know, or if you are, or, you know, like, should publishing try to, you know, should YA publishing try to appeal more towards a crossover audience, basically, of like people in their early mid 20s, or should they, you know, go back somewhat, basically, to appealing to, you know, actual teenagers, basically, you know, high school aged people. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like that's really just gonna be like a raging discussion. I don't know what most people think, so I don't know. I feel like for a lot of people, like, I feel like a lot of people who are in this space, I feel like a lot of people probably just hold the opinion that they just want to like read books, and they want to write books. They want to read good books. They just want to read stories they enjoy, and they want to like write stories, you know? I don't know. In terms of like, I think most people don't, I don't know. Like, do I care about this issue of like who should the target audience of YA be as much as I make it seem? Like, probably, I don't really. I mean, I don't know. I mean, ideally, like, if you were to ask me, I want, you know, YA publishing to go in the direction of like appealing more towards teens, you know? But, you know, obviously, it's also the thing of like, but like, what is appealing towards teens? Like, what is appealing towards teens? Can you write, you know, a YA novel about, you know, abusive relationships in the vein of a certain adult romance author, and then pass it off as YA and be like, no, we're trying to appeal towards teenagers here. You know, I don't know. It's a whole thing, and then you get put on a shelf, and then it's a lot. Oh man, I don't know. I guess back to the point. The general point of like YA publishing should try to appeal more towards male readers entering their teens, because you know when like boys like who are big fans of middle grade fantasy, you know, reach the age, right, where it's like you know, where like most girls like start reading like YA books, basically, like you know, it is easier to like transition if you are, you know, if you are a girl than a boy. Yeah, I mean, it kind of is easier, right? You know, I don't know, a lot of, yeah, basically. So like, what can be done about that, basically, right? Like what can be done, you know? Obviously, like one, you know, one key point is that like center romance less in freaking like the majority of YA books. Make having a romantic element, make having like, you know, a love story like be not a requirement in order to publish a YA book, right? Especially in fantasy, especially in like, you know, genres, you know, thrillers. I don't know if it's the same case with like thrillers or horror, but I don't know. But that's the thing, is like, I don't know like what like YA fantasy like to work off of, like, you know, like the latest like I'm familiar with is like Six of Crows, basically. But it's like, yeah, I guess like there are other examples where it's like a young boy, is like a 12-year-old boy going, like, if there's a 12-year-old boy out there and they love middle grade fantasy like Percy Jackson, are they gonna really like enter high school, turn 15, 16, and then be like, what kind of YA fantasy books are there? And then someone hands them like, I don't know, books. I don't know. Like, this isn't someone hands them books that are heavily romantic centric, basically, right? I know that freaking A Court of Thorns and Roses isn't technically YA anymore, but like it started out categorized as YA, okay? You know, like there's that, and then there's, you know, The Cruel Prince, which is, you know, features a romance, and then there's, you know, a lot of like YA books, basically. I don't know. Basically, that are you know, that center romance, basically. And you know, obviously, generally, like the ideal target audience in mind are like females rather than males, so it's like, you know, yeah, like what can be done about that, you know? Yeah, and obviously, like, it started a discussion of like, yes, like, yeah, I would assume more people are sharing opinions of like YA should try to like appeal more towards teen boys. There's a whole potential audience out there that like YA could like potentially reach, right? But it just doesn't try to do that. It just keeps on, you know, I don't know, like, I guess it keeps on trying to appeal towards, you know, women who in their like early to mid 20s, a lot of people would feel like, you know, I think a lot of people would feel like, rather than like, you know, actual teens, you know. Yeah, and then like this whole sparked a discussion. Like, I'd assume there are some critics out there. There are some people responding to the opinion that YA publishing should try to appeal more towards teen boys. Two, you know, I don't have specific tweets I've seen, but there are tweets calling out the tweets they've seen from people. And like those critics are saying like, you know, like why should that be a thing? Like, what, you know, like it's not freaking YA publishing's fault that freaking boys are so afraid to read, you know, books about girls and like that are about issues dealing with girls and like that have female main characters. You know, it's not YA publishing's fault, but it's like, yeah. And then, you know, those are the critics' opinions, and then, you know, both things can be true at the same time. Yeah, let me see. I can check my liked tweets, man. I can do it. I'm mixing the Twitter segment in here. Oh man. Yeah, here we go. It's like here. I quote tweeted it too. Oh yeah. I did quote tweet it. Oh, I quote tweeted it. Yeah, what am I doing? I'm checking my likes rather than my actual tweets. Oh man. God. What? Ah, you're unable to view this tweet? Well, fine. Great. I don't know. It basically was saying like there's a more nuanced freaking thing, right? It's like yeah, you know, it doesn't, yeah, saying that YA publishing should try to appeal more towards, you know, male readers doesn't freaking mean that, like, you know, male readers, it doesn't mean, you know, at the very 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 reductionist level that, you know, that like it's sexist to not want to read about freaking girls and like have read about female characters, right? It's like, yeah, it does not mean that, right? It just means, yeah, obviously I'm on the side of that, like, yes, publishing should try to appeal more towards, like, you know, male readers. And like I mean, you know, if you've freaking watched like a few of these and like maybe have listened to specific parts, you'd know it's like, yeah, like I like read freaking quote girly YA books, you know. I made it a thing, like I kind of like in my very first like a blog post where I talk about YA, you know, one of my very early blog posts where I talk about YA, like, I don't know, like I kind of do like I don't know. I have, I don't know. It's a bit, I don't know. It's a bit cringe, like the way I write about YA books, basically, where I'm just like, yes, I'm proud that I like reading freaking books with girl main characters or something. I like you know, a lot of people would think YA books are like melodramatic, but I love freaking reading about teen drama when it's like, that's not freaking, yeah, the way I characterize YA is just so freaking off, right? I absolutely do not think that way anymore, right? Of that, like, you know, reading a freaking YA book equals freaking reading freaking teen drama. It's like, obviously that's just not a true statement at all. It's like, I don't know. The part I enjoy about that blog post is me praising YA books like The Hate You Give and, you know, yeah, The Hate You Give, Eliza and Her Monsters, the Chaos of Standing Still, We Are Okay, you know, like the Poet X, you know, I like that part of it. But the part where, you know, a lot of, yeah, it's weird because, I don't know, I guess it is kind of reaffirming my feelings, this whole latest publishing discussion, because I kind of did feel weird, you know, at first, right? I had a quote tweet to the tweet that I can't view saying, I would love to see more teen boys read YA books. Yeah, it's weird because I started reading YA in high school with authors like Becky Albertalli and Morgan Matson, and I didn't really think much of it. They were just books that were fun to read. Yeah, and like I agree with that. I you know, obviously I did think a little bit of just like, I'm reading like books about freaking teen girls, but you know, but at first, but like I don't know, it's fine. Like I just like the age. I like the freaking I like, yeah, I like YA books. It's like, what else can I say? I mean, like, I don't know. I feel like, you know, I don't know. Will it be the yeah? I was really thinking like, will it be the same case as I was 16 then when I'm like 21, 22, 23? I don't know, it's looking like it. I mean, when I was like, yeah, like a couple of years ago, I read freaking Mercy Suarez and I absolutely loved it. It's like one of the best freaking books I've ever read in recent years. So it's like, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, there was a whole discussion about aging out of YA, you know, at that time that I saw. And then, yeah, I responded with a tweet where I'm like, I'm aging into middle grade rather than aging out of YA. What else am I gonna age into? New adult? Oh man. Yeah. Is it? Yeah, the last thing I wrote, yeah, about in the quote tweet, relatability was never an issue for me. And it was, yeah, that's the one thing that is true. Like, I never had a whole thing of like, I'm reading about a girl, how can I relate to this? It's like, it's not, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I think it's like there will be like teen boys who some who generally kind of think that way of like, why would I want to read about, why would I want to read a book with a female main character? How can I relate? I think there are a few people who might hold that sentiment, as teenagers or even like adults. There's definitely some adults who still hold that like perspective, but I feel like most of them are open-minded. Yeah, I feel like most of them would be open to reading, books about freaking with a female protagonist. But there are things YA publishing can do to, have that, and also have stories that reflect, the experiences teen boys go through, right? Yeah. I don't know, and that's the thing. Like, that's the thing that I imagine, right? I joke about it, but I imagine, I was thinking about this. I'm imagining the frickin' a meme of the three boys, like gathering around the frickin' table, being like, "Is Fortnite overrated?" But doing that with Morgan Matson, doing that with discussing Morgan Matson books or Becky Albertalli books, or like, basically. But, obviously in this scenario, right, like YA publishing would like, have more books that like reflect, that, maybe they wouldn't be discussing books with female main characters that are like centered around romance. Maybe they'd want to discuss patron saints of nothing, or maybe they'd want to discuss, more happy to not, or, basically. I mean, a lot of Adam Silvera's contemporary books have like a romantic element to it, but I don't think that's necessarily like what they're like about. I don't know. Yeah, basically. I don't know. I mean, yeah, like what are like male-centric books? Yeah. I mean, yeah, I was thinking like, Perks of Being a Wallflower, but yeah, that's, I don't think that's really, the thing. I don't know. I guess, I don't want to tweet directly at, the people making these statements, but, I would like to ask, like, what ideas do people think would be good for YA books, where, like, here's an idea for a YA book that would make it easier for a younger middle grade fantasy reader who's a boy to transition into. Like, what ideas for like stories, like what specific like stories, and like what like elements can be done, other than, not centering romance as much, or not, having stories that are romances disguised as something else, basically, right? I don't know. I really, it'd be interesting, if anyone's interested in this issue and like watching up to this point, you can comment on it. You can comment down below. Oh man, is that it? Oh my god. Oh god. That was the first half an hour. Is that done? What's the conclusion of it? What is the conclusion of this whole thing? I don't know. Maybe should I see the replies? Maybe I should see the replies. I bookmarked it, man. Yeah. Sally Nichols tweeted as a reply, "As the mother of a voracious 7-year-old who mostly reads nonfiction, I am dreading this. Do we have YA nonfiction? Is that a thing? Or is he going to have to start reading adult books at 12? I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. I guess there's also the very cynical view on this, where it's like, why does there need to be like an easy transition at all? Like, who, like, in general, like, who cares, But it's like, I don't know. I don't hold that. I think it's a good discussion to have. I think I agree. I'm on the side that YA publishing should absolutely try, to appeal more towards teen boy readers, but it's like, I don't know, like, I sympathize with the very cynical perspective of just like, what about the people who just like want to play video games, like, like, what if they just want to watch freaking YouTube videos and play video games primarily over reading, It's like, it's cool that like they're into reading, but it's like, I don't know, it's like, the transition, right? I don't know the ideal transition, to be honest. If you want young boy readers to transition into YA and then transition into adult books. I mean, I don't know, like, is it like, I don't know. I guess like there's a very cynical like reading of it where it's like, moral policing basically, but it's like I definitely don't agree with that perspective. I don't know. It's valuable to have, it's valuable to like have to like want your children to like transition into things they read just as they transition into things they watch. Obviously, it's like, it's the same thing. It's like, do you want your 12-year-old son to freaking watch Breaking Bad? I mean, like, do you want your 12-year-old son to watch, Euphoria? It's like, probably not. Do you want your 22-year-old son to watch Euphoria? I don't. God damn. Probably not. I mean, yeah, that's the thing. It's the same like concept, right? It's like, do you want your 12-year-old son to play violent video games? Do you want your 12-year-old son to play GTA? That's the thing. It's like, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't really have a freaking I can't really say anything in regards to this. Obviously, I don't have children, and obviously, like, as a freaking kid, I was playing M for mature games, but it's the same like concept, right? Obviously, it's like I think you should strive to have like age appropriate freaking content your kids and age appropriate media your kids try to freaking watch. But I don't know. I guess in my mind, like, when your kid is like 16, I feel like they're basically ready to just like watch, read, and play things that have a very mature freaking angle to them. I feel like I that's just my thing, right? But it's like, yeah, but it's not. It's like entirely separate to it. Like, obviously, it's like entirely separate to it. Like, if you have a young teen boy who's interested in reading, like, why not? Why couldn't they also be open to reading YA books? I don't know. I really don't know. I really, it kind of just, this whole discussion has kind of made me feel more like I'm just like a very rare exception, right? It's like, I don't know. It's like everyone else was just like, everyone else my age, I guess, apparently was just like, I don't know what they were reading. Like, I don't know. I don't remember many of my freaking classmates in high school being like readers, especially the guys. I don't know. I really do not necessarily see them as readers. And if they were reading, they weren't reading YA books, obviously. Yeah, it seems that like most of the time, I feel like, if you have children that are readers, if you have, for girls, it's much easier to like, convince them to read like a YA book, than it is for a boy to convince them to read, a YA book, the same kind of one, right? It's like, just saying, like a 13-year-old girl in this day and age, probably, you hand them to all the boys, right? And then they're probably, and it's probably, sensible, reasonable, right? It makes sense, But like, I don't know, you hand a freaking 14-year-old boy to all the boys, or since you've been gone, and then I don't know, it seems like that makes less sense, I don't know, it just does, obviously. And like, does that say something about, like, why don't freaking teen boys want to read about girls? I mean, I don't know. You could like read that, but it's like, obviously, I agree that, like, again, for like the fourth time, I agree that, if YA publishing wants to reach, teen boys, it's like they'd have to like do something about that. They have to like, there have to be more freaking stories, pushed that like have the things that would appeal, But like, yeah, and again, like, one thing I would like to know is like what would appeal, like, I don't know, and obviously it's like, in the larger scheme of things, you know, there probably are going to be like kids who are not going to be interested in reading as a hobby anyway. Yeah, but it's like, and if they do end up becoming interested in reading, they just freaking they become the type of people that just read freaking nonfiction self-help books, you know. Or like, yeah, again, yeah, like that reply. They start reading adult freaking books at freaking 12, you know. But I don't know. I mean, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I wasn't only reading YA books in high school. I was also reading like stuff by Hemingway. I was reading Hemingway's short stories. Obviously, I read like classics. You know, I read The Bell Jar. I don't know if that would like have a gender like like split in terms of its appeal. I wouldn't. I don't know. I read yeah, that was the only classic I read. Actually, I was more mainly focused on reading YA basically. But I don't know, yeah. I really didn't think much of reading frickin' more like Since You've Been Gone or like, you know, Upside of Unrequited to me. Yeah, like I read the Upside of Unrequited and I'm like, this is freaking hilarious. Like, dude, like there are like these girls who are talking about freaking orgasms and stuff and like there's so many swear words. It's like, I don't know. I feel like I don't know, but that's the thing. It's like how do you like, you know, convince more male readers at that age of like being, you know, a teenager in the middle of high school to like, hey, you might like this, right? I don't know, like I don't know. It is a thing. Like how do you, you know, yeah. Oh man, yeah. There's the two prongs of it. Like like, you know, outside of like publishing, having new stories that would appeal, like, you know, yeah, for me personally, what are some ways like to convince, you know, yeah, male kind of, yeah, young males to like read more, you know, read more stories, more of those types of YA stories. I don't know. I think, yeah, The Hate U Give is currently like being taught in schools, but yeah, also there's the whole book banning thing, right? In a lot of areas, which restricts access. There's that, you know, which sucks, you know. I don't know. I guess there are other books, right? Like Dear Martin, I would assume, you know, and like, yeah, other ones. I don't know. What else can be like? What else? I don't know. Like I'm thinking of books that aren't like about a specific issue, that aren't like quote unquote issue books, but like, you know, which you know, I don't think should apply to The Hate U Give, you know, like, or On the Come Up, to be honest. I don't think they should freaking get that label of like books about race, you know. Like it's a book about like it's a book about a young girl and her family, or basically, right, at the core of it. That's the thing. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. This whole discussion has made me feel a lot more of like, oh, I guess I am a bit weird. I guess I am a little bit of a rarity, right? I don't think I'm as much of a rarity as I think, but, you know, as I first thought. But, you know, I guess like looking at this, it's like, you know, I don't know, like what do the freaking teenage boys of today, you know, what do they read if they are, you know, quote, readers, basically? What do they read for fun, man? I guess in terms of the fantasy space, what is there? Yeah, there's obviously Six of Crows. I don't think that would have any like, you know, barriers to where it's like, you know, I don't like Six of Crows does not center romance too much, basically, right? Yeah, I don't know. Like, yeah, true. I'm trying to think of like what are some books in other genres that like, you know, that you know you could reasonably try to get young male readers to read. You know, I don't know. Without it being a struggle, I don't know. Yeah, it is hard. It is like hard. It's a difficult. It's a question. Yeah, it's an interesting question, and they're like very nuanced responses, right? But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, obviously the bottom line is I do not think, you know, I don't think there should be. I don't think the solution is ignoring a potential like readership that could be very like large, you know. I don't think so. I don't think that's the solution. I think the solution is to try to appeal, but, you know, then you know, going on from that, like, how do you appeal? Like, what are the specific things, what are the specific stories, you know, that would, you know, try to do that? What thing, what needs to be part of those stories. Yeah, and that's all like very interesting to figure out. I don't know. It really is a thing that like YA publishing in general seems to always be in a constant state of reckoning, where it's like there are always people who bring up criticisms of it, or like start discussions on like, like how do you feel about this in YA? How do you feel about this? What should be done about this? And then like everyone has opinions on it, and then it all just like gets freaking it all, it turns into, quote, the discourse, and freaking, it all gets on Twitter, even though a lot of people said they were going to leave Twitter and posted their freaking screenshots of their Hive profiles. Yes, I remember that. This seems like really cool if like Twitter like implodes. It's like, yeah, okay. All right, man. I created my Mastodon account. If anyone wants to follow me there, it's like, yeah. Mostly it's like I'm on TikTok a lot more, but it's I don't want to. Oh man. Oh god. Oh man. Am I done? Oh god, that was fun. I needed that so much. I never needed it now so much. Yeah, that's the title of a Go Team song. Oh man. Oh my god, that was fun. Was I coherent? Did I ramble? Yes. Did I ramble too much? Yes. Did I say like and too much? Yes. But was it a discussion? Was it an interesting question? I hope so. Comment down below if you've like watched up to this point. If anyone's watching. Oh my god. Oh god, dude. Amazing. Brilliant. Again, I apologize if anything I say ends up being like that's like wrong or that's stupid. I apologize. Okay. Obviously. Oh man. Yeah, so, my dream of, like, teen boy readers, like, young male readers, especially, yeah, like, even, like, young adult, even, like, men around freaking, like, 20, 21, 22, like, if I am, how much of a rarity am I? How much, like, honestly, how much of a rarity am I? Yeah. Oh, yeah, one author, I think, that could, like, be a savior in this situation. Jason Reynolds, man. Jason Reynolds is an author. Like, I'm reading Look Both Ways right now, and like, I don't know, man. His prose, I was thinking of the question of like, I miss people who can write. I miss stories by people who can write. And I'm like, dude, Jason Reynolds can write. Okay, Jason Reynolds can write. I don't know. I feel like a lot of people don't talk about prose when it comes to books for young readers, but it's like, come on, man, you like reading freaking the stories and Look Both Ways, right? It's like they're really good and fun and like interesting stories, and have like and can be very like, can be very touching and emotional, a lot of them can be, but it's like, it's also like, yeah, it's also like the prose, man, the freaking prose, I don't know, I mean, just the way, yeah, I guess it's the whole thing of just like, a lot of times you read his prose and it sounds like poetic, basically, the way Sandra Cisneros is, and, I guess I am a little bit of a sucker for that, like people who can write prose like as if they're writing poetry, but it's but at the end of the day it's prose, Sylvia Plath can do that, that's another example of someone who can do that. But yeah, like Jason Reynolds, man, I'm thinking of it in terms of like, I feel like Jason Reynolds can like write a YA book, I think All American Boys is one, but like, I don't know, just like, Look Both Ways is middle grade, but like, I don't know, I feel like he can write like a really good like YA book that like could appeal to young male readers. I think like he was the ambassador of like children's literature at one point. Excuse me. Yeah, he was the ambassador for 1 year. So maybe like his work dealt with that. I don't know. If there's anyone who can help with this situation, he can. I'm entrusting Jason Reynolds, man. Oh, man. Yeah, anyways, yeah, I guess that's the end of that conversation. Is it the end, though? Is it the end of me talking about the latest thing that's being talked about in the publishing, Twitter, writing space. Oh man, who knows? Who knows, man? I don't know. Again, like I really do feel like I'm a rarity. I don't know. You know, oh god, there probably are just a bunch of freaking like early mid-20s ass freaking men in particular who read just like self-help nonfiction and are just like, yeah, the only books I read are just to like are about how to change your brain chemistry, are about, it's like, oh my god, dude, can you just like read one freaking fictional god dang story in your life, please? Can you just read one Morgan Matson book? I beg of you. I beg of you. Please, please, man. Oh man. Can you just read books like Saints and Misfits? Can you just read freaking like can you read Fangirl, man? Can you read god. Yeah. Man. But yeah, I don't know. I guess that was the discussion, man. Yeah, true. Oh god, that was a fun time, wasn't it? Only a little past half an hour, it's 45 minutes. Okay. I guess I rambled for too much, man. Am I ready for the Twitter segment, man? Damn, dude. Oh my god, that was fast. I found out the last episode I figured out I used a different like render template and it did render faster, but it still took like, a while. I feel like the thing now is that I have to render videos overnight, but I don't know. Yeah, I'll figure it out. I'm getting closer to figuring it out. So, yeah. Hopefully this $300 PC wasn't just an upgrade in terms of like, Wi-Fi is built into it. Yeah. That was the thing with my last like computer, is that I had to have like a Wi-Fi USB adapter, put into it, but this computer, like the computer I have right now, yeah, Wi-Fi is built into it, so it's always freaking on. Isn't that nice? Oh man, the Lakers. Oh man. Oh snap. What's going on with the Lakers? anyways, what's going on? The Timberwolves 98, Lakers 92. This is a very, very important game for seeding. The Clippers have been kind of sucky. They lost to the Kings again, man. Come on, man. Oh, man. The Nuggets are up on the Grizzlies. Oh, man. The Warriors won against the Pelicans. Oh, ooh. Yeah. Well, at least the freaking Lakers can freaking lose this game. At least. At least Jokic is going to stat pad his way to a third MVP. At least Jokic is going to do that. Am I ready for the Twitter segment? What else is going on? Man, god. I found a cinnamon bun pizza. I don't know. I should probably post the freaking picture I posted on Twitter. Dude, there was a cinnamon bun breakfast pizza, a DiGiorno's freaking pizza that I found at a grocery store. Like, dude, it was pretty good. It wasn't the best, but it was pretty good. But I don't know, like, why you would want to consume that much sugar for breakfast, though. There was a tweet that said, like, your two options for breakfast are, like, a pound of salt or 900 grams of sugar. That really is the case. You could have, like, bacon and eggs and, like, cholesterol yourself to an early freaking heart attack, freaking, laden death, or you can freaking just, have a bunch of sugar and, like, you go the other way. It's weird, isn't it, with breakfast? But yeah, like, you can just like have black coffee, right? You can have black coffee and fruit, yeah, not too much fruit, not like too sweet fruit, but like just black coffee, I wonder how many people just only have like black coffee for breakfast. Those people, man, they get the work done. I feel like the writer coffee tea thing, a lot of them put milk or sugar in their tea, but no, yeah, man. I don't know. As long as it's like lukewarm, as long as it's not freaking scalding hot, I can drink freaking like black coffee, no problem. It's fine. I can even like drink it like when it's kind of cold, when it's kind of cooled off. Yeah, it's cool. In the bathroom might make you a little antsy there, but anyways. Anything else that went on I should just quickly touch on? I think I can make this like above an hour, but yeah. Anything else I should touch on? Oh man. What else? Yeah. I don't know. What have I been doing? I wrote a short story. I wrote a short story that basically wasn't prose. Basically, I wrote yeah. I guess I can like reveal details of my short stories more. I wrote a short story that was basically an interview. I wrote it where it was basically an interview, and like it is a I don't know. I had a lot of fun writing it. The most fun thing about writing it is that it only took me 6 writing sessions. It was 4,900 words. It's almost 5K words, and I managed to write it in just 6 freaking sessions of writing. That might not be that impressive to some people, but for me it is. It's extremely impressive. Yeah, it's an interview, and like I make it. I think a lot in my head of like interview questions, I guess. I don't know. And like, I don't know. A thing I wanted to do with it was basically like have the interview be actually interesting, have interesting questions be asked, and also have the interviewer take part in it too, and like have it be a back and forth. So, yeah. I guess that's all I'll reveal about it. With short stories, I can reveal like one detail. With novels, I'm just like, it's YA, it's contemporary, it's about this many thousand words. That's it. Oh yeah, my novel's 80K words. Yeah, yeah. If you're wondering. Anyways, Twitter segment. Twitter, what's going on? Oh man. Oh man. Ooh, Timberwolves 101 to 98. Oh man, I should watch that. Oh man. Anyways. I probably shouldn't make it too long. Okay. Yeah, let me just set my controller down. Set the microphone down. Oh, here we go. Oh man, what a good discussion that was, man. What a good discussion. Beautiful. That was beauty. What is this? Hey, want to feel old? I just told my younger sibling that to copy a Word document, you just do Control C plus Control V, and they were shocked that it was that easy because their only experience before with copying files is on Google Docs, where you have to go to a menu and click Make a Copy. What? Yeah, I don't do that. I don't know. I don't trust Control C and Control V. I don't, I know shortcuts, but like, come on, man. Oh god, when I was a teen, I refused to name my files for book scenes properly. These are 4 of the top bangers. I spent my money on video games and I'm kind of sad about it. This one doesn't have a brothel in it. Delete later because this is crap. He's dead, Jim. Oh man. A reply to it. The titles rarely have anything to do with the actual content of the file, which is my personal favorite touch. Also, I think the video games I blew all my money on were Undertale and Outlast DLC. Outlast DLC? Undertale. Wasn't that only like $10? Oh, man. Oh, man. What, according to you, was the messiest book Twitter drama? Like drama that has forever changed book Twitter. I'm done, man. I'm done. We back, man. We back. Oh, man. Oh, man. Let's play a game. It's called Is Everyone Mad at Me or Am I Neurodivergent and Stressed Out? Pop Crave 6 years ago today, Nintendo released the Nintendo Switch. It remains the 3rd best selling video game console of all time. Okay, man. Alright. Oh, man. Jaylen Brown tweeted, water your plants. Oh, man. Oh, yeah, Connor from Trash Taste got partnered with Twitch. Yeah. Like, which means that, like, Twitch reached out to him and they're like, hey, Connor, the guy who's got his start on YouTube doing frickin' Black Butler prank calls. Hey, you've gotten so popular on Twitch that we would like you to exclusively stream on Twitch, or something like that. And then there were some people being like, why isn't Kai Cenat partnered? Ugh, I have never heard of this guy. Oh, man. Oh, my God. Rare insults. In response to a picture of, like, a white guy. You look like the type of guy to go to a Mexican restaurant with his 2 kids and wife Jessica and at the end say, welp, your kiddo's ready to vamonos? Oh man, oh man. A woman tweeted, on a boat with your favorite NFL player, and then the quote tweet said, I can tell you right now, Patrick Mahomes ain't on that boat. Oh man, oh man. Oh yeah, Hassan Minhaj freaking is hosting the Daily Show this week. Yeah, he hosted the Daily Show. You know, he had a thing where he had Giannis on, and then like Giannis, had a joke about KD being like, "Oh, you always join super teams. Like why don't we get into the gym and I'll show you how to carry your own team, basically, right?" Yeah, god. And then it was a thing on Undisputed. Oh god. Proposals for if we ever start titling YA books like 2000s pop punk songs. Yeah, like Fall Out Boy songs, basically. What? I'm going to use this M dash and not even God can stop me. Writing/rewriting. This is the saddest I've ever been, and it's not even over yet. What aren't you understanding? Red herrings. Interesting. Yeah, Mikal Bridges scored 38 points for the Nets against the Celtics. Yeah. What? I'm too curious, man. I'm too curious. Oh man, yeah. Timberwolves are up 108, and the Lakers are at 102. Okay, all right. Oh man, what happened to the Clippers, man? It's too easy to be like, oh, it's Russell Westbrook, man. Oh god dang it. Oh god. The Rachel Ray Show is set to end after 17 seasons on the air. Oh, was it? Yeah, 30-minute meals. That's what she was known for, right? New Jersey Nets got Michael Jordan 48 hours after he scored 51. Kenyon Martin said, maybe his legs will be a little tired after a 51-point game. Jordan probably read the newspapers that day. 45 points. He destroyed Richard Jefferson and Kenyon Martin that night. And then someone quote-tweeted, MJ was dropping 50 on dudes as a 42-year-old after he played golf and smoked cigs all night long on 3 hours of sleep. Another guy could never, man. Oh man. Anything else that I could bring up while I'm scrolling Twitter? I'm scrolling. Oh man. Yeah. So, oh my god, people just posting freaking TikToks being like, this is an opinion, this is wild, oh my god, what is this person thinking? And then inspiring more Twitter discourse and not realizing that you're just freaking contributing to the thing you hate. But it's like, people don't hate Twitter discourse, they actually love it, I don't know. Oh man. Oh god. Yeah, Morgan Wallen. Morgan Wallen trying to think of lyrics to fill up his 36-track album. Oh, God. Oh, man. Yeah, Morgan Wallen. Oh, God. Tyson Fury on why Deontay Wilder wasn't able to KO him. I think my sheer size and weight has a lot to do with him not being able to knock me out cold. He hits a guy 6'3" and 225 pounds. They're nailed to the canvas. But a guy 6'9" and 277. Size matters. Yeah. I mean, he did knock him down twice, yeah, but completely out, yeah. I think weight probably does have to do with it. I think the bigger thing is that Tyson Fury can box, better than Wilder. But I don't know. It's interesting. If you replay Wilder and Fury, if you just had a simulation and the conditions are the same in a vacuum, Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder fight 50 times. I think Fury would win most of the times, but I feel like Wilder would I don't know. I feel like the split would be Fury would win 35 times, and then Wilder would win 15 times. Am I crazy for thinking that? Am I crazy for thinking that, that would be the split? That, Wilder could win 15 times over sheer, he has his right hand, I don't know. That's not based in any sort of. That's based on my freaking not knowing about boxing, but Oh yeah, Conor Benn freaking had a statement about the eggs, and then he's like, "I'm not a cheat." He is calling out a lot of fighters. He called out Errol Spence Jr. Apparently, there's discussions on maybe he could fight Manny Pacquiao. Maybe Pacquiao could come out of retirement to fight him, and it's come on, man. Come on, man. Oh. Anyways, it hasn't even been an hour yet. Look at that. Yeah, that's basically all I wanted to talk about. I wanted to talk about the latest publishing drama, okay? I am freaking, oh god. Oh man. I am just freaking overjoyed. I was excited, wasn't I? Oh man. In honor of Camila Cabello's 26th birthday, tell us your favorite song by the star. It's giving, yeah, I don't know what it's giving. I know a lot of white people need to hear this, so genre writing is just as valid as literary fiction. Literary fiction is not inherently superior to any other writing or storytelling. Stop placing hierarchies on art. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's the whole thing. Why do to the people who do that, yeah. Yeah. God, Ben Simmons has experienced back soreness while strengthening his knee this week. Per Jacques Vaughn, there's no timetable for his return. And Shannon Sharp quote tweeted, "Shake my head." Oh God. Oh man. Oh man. Oh yeah. Yeah. This Chat GPT thing, man. I don't know, dude. I've been dabbling in it, not really seriously, but like I don't know, it can do things, man. It can do things, yeah, scary things. Okay, good. The Timberwolves won over the Lakers 110-102. We got it, guys. We did it, guys. We did it. We did it. Laker haters did it. Okay, haters freaking eating. Okay, I need to tweet right now. Need to tweet right now. Needed that L. Needed that L. Needed that L. I love vague NBA tweeting. There's vague publishing tweeting. I'm the king of vague NBA tweeting. Needed that L. We got it, guys. I'm sorry, man. Look, man. There was another tweet. Yeah, there was another tweet. Yeah, let me see if I can find it. Let me see if you can find it in my likes. It's here, right? So yeah, sports are great because it's still permissible to be an unqualified hater. The arts in my adulthood have increasingly become a space for nuance and thoughtfulness, all of which is fine and well, but sometimes you just want to say, look, the problem here is this guy sucks. Yeah, sometimes you just want to be like, this sucks, you know? Like, it's fine, I don't know, obviously. In like the publishing thing, like obviously it's obviously I feel like I agree with the sentiment. You shouldn't freaking tag authors in negative reviews. They don't want to see that. Obviously, you shouldn't tag authors in negative reviews. But it's like, I guess there's a difference between like people, should it be expanded to like people shouldn't be allowed to post like harsh criticism online. I don't know. Look, man, it's fine sometimes, Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, God. Andrew Tate has lung cancer, okay? So many Pop Crave freaking tweets, man. In a new podcast interview, Billie Eilish tells Conan O'Brien that she deleted all social media apps. I deleted it all off my phone, which is such a huge deal to me. Because, dude, you didn't have the internet to grow up with. Yep. Oh, man. Yeah, Tyson Fury. My most formidable opponent was Deontay Wilder. All 3 times it could have been curtains for me at any second. He knocked out every single person that he ever fought, apart from me. I'd back him to beat everybody in the division apart from myself. Look at that. Look at the respect they have for each other now. That was an L. Yeah, did I talk about that when I talked about Wilder Fury 3? Was that like the immediate reaction after like Wilder got knocked out? He got up and then like I think Fury tried to shake his hand and then he said something to the effect of like, I don't want to show any sportsmanship, Which is, yeah, like, I guess that's the whole thing that like boxing freaking, especially teaches you is like having humility, right? Where it can be hard to have humility when it's like, oh, I just literally got knocked out, like how, and then you just, that was the thing with like, when AJ got upset by Andy Ruiz in 2019, where like a lot of people were like, why is AJ like being so like respectful towards Andy Ruiz? Why is he just being like, good job, champ, good job, man, good, we didn't get it done this time, it's like, dude, you lost to what everyone thought was like a considerably worse opponent than you. Why are you so like, comparatively like joyous, But I don't know, yeah, there is value in having humility, and like, I think boxing is a sport where, you see a lot of times where it's like, there's so much freaking build up and like, fights are promoted upon freaking people hating each other, like, but it's like, it very rarely is the case, There very rarely are like cases where like, there's a fighter that beats another fighter or knocks someone out and like, they end up being like the most like insufferable freaking sore winner or something, and they just rub it in everyone's faces. It's more, there are way more instances of like two people, even if they did have like a bitterness to them in the lead up to, a fight, where they end up being like, yeah, no, you beat me, yeah, great. I freaking respect you a lot more. I like that about boxing. I like that element to it, that there a lot of times is like a respect that gets formed. Maybe it's not there in the moment, but like later on, like years on, like rivalries, like Marco Antonio Barrera and Eric Morales are like good friends now. They have a podcast called, was it like Uno Mas or something? Uno, One More Round, I think. Yeah, in Spanish, yeah. Oh man, yeah. It's like yeah. That's the whole thing. Like how like bitter rivalry can turn into like, no, we're cool with each other. I respect you. I freaking, I have the utmost respect for your freaking ability. Yeah. I don't know. Not a thing between Draymond and Dylan Brooks. Not a thing. No. Not a thing between Draymond and Russell Westbrook's shooting ability. Oh man. Am I good? What else can I say? I support women's rights. This is an image. This is a text box and an image. I support women's rights, but more important, I support women's wrongs. Mine specifically. As a line in the book? Ooh. It's a picture of like a cardboard cutout. Yeah. Oh man, I'm not naming these authors at all. Yeah, it's fine. Yeah. Anyways, any controversial thing happened in the freaking post-hardcore scene? What Jamal just did to Dylan Brooks and then screaming in his ear on the way back. What? Oh man. Oh, Jamal Murray. Oh man, people posting their freaking 4x4s, 5x5s. Oh man. Someone tweeted, comparison is the thief of joy. Denzel and Bron chatting during the Laker game. Oh, Denzel Washington, not Denzel Curry. JJ has quickly become super condescending on air and acts like his word is law on the game. What? Perkins and Mad Dog deserve to be condescended to. Yes. Oh man. Yeah, true. Like, look, man. I don't know. JJ getting like freaking like, I don't know. I think I like JJ. Yeah, the whole like stat padding Jokic thing. I made it. He was like, it's like what are we watching here? What are you watching? Like what is this freaking opinion that is just like, that Kendrick Perkins started to perpetuate of just like he's stat padding. Kendrick Perkins also is like, it's okay, a lot of teams do it, a lot of players do it, but it's like Jokic doesn't, like, he does not stat pad, man. And then he doubled down on it and then had, like, I don't know. It's not even freaking, like, fair to just, like, share it. It's just dumb. It's just dumb. Like, the media didn't have to vote Jokic MVP 2 previous years. They could have just gave it to Joel Embiid. But, like, this narrative now of just, like, Jokic can't be a 3-time MVP and freaking not take his team to the finals. That is embarrassing. That is freaking stupid or something. Or, like, Jokic, I don't know. This whole, that, like, narrative, too. It's like, well, then, maybe the media shouldn't have freaking gave him the MVP the 2 previous years, Like, people are saying, like, 1 year was due to narrative, 1 year was only due to stats. What's the, I don't know. Like, he only is, like, just, people only talk about freaking advanced stats when building his case, like Vorp. He's the Vorp king, but it's like, I don't know, man. Just give it to Giannis or Embiid at this point. I don't know. I feel like for Jokic's freaking sanity, I feel like, he did have a comment, like, not bad for a stat patter after a game where he got another triple-double, where he got 100 triple-doubles, but, oh, man. Yes, he is stat padding, man. Yes. I mean, if he is stat padding, all of the other Nuggets are, like, in on it, too. It's an inside job by frickin' his teammates to frickin' stat pad him, right? It's not frickin' a ting, if it even is a ting, to where Jokic is frickin' in his mind wanting to stat pad, okay? It's a ting, whereas, like, if it was a ting, which it isn't, it's his teammates frickin' doing it for him. Oh, man. Oh, God. It's 1 hour and 10 minutes. I'm rolling, man. I'm rolling. Oh, man. Anyways, is that it? Yeah, I think I'm okay with, like, rendering. What is this? What the hell is Dick Soapgate? In response to Messi's book Twitter drama. Dick Soapgate, and I'm being so serious. I feel like not only did this lead to book boxes being more mindful about what they included, but also, I'm sure, Sarah J. Maas, was like, you know what? Just make it adult, deadass. Oh, man. Oh, man. You know what? Oh, man. I don't know. If you see, like, a 16-year-old boy reading frickin' A Court of Thorns and Roses, I don't know, man. I don't know. Oh, man. Isn't it kind of just a very, like... Oh, God, dude. I don't know. I'm thinking, like, it might be, like, there's a greater chance that, like young men in their early 20s, like, are probably have a greater chance of, like, reading, It Begins With Us and It Ends With Us than, like any YA book. Oh, man. This is just existentially depressing now. Oh, man. This is just existentially depressing. Maybe I don't want more people to watch these videos, but I don't know. I'm just, like, saying, like, if people stumble upon them, man. Oh, God. Any freaking thing else, man? Anything else before I end this? This is, Oh, man. It's been beautiful. It's been beautiful. What a time it's been. God. Yeah, I should probably just read the quote tweets on that. Yeah. If I were to answer, what has been the messiest book Twitter drama? I mean, messiest? Like, I don't know, like messy in terms of fun, or messy in terms of just, like, everyone, like, messy in terms of toxicity, I think there's a difference, though. I don't know, man. I don't know. The messiest post-hardcore band drama was the American Beauty thing. But, other than that, in terms of, like, book Twitter drama, I don't know, man. I don't know. The ones we burn, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know, to be honest. Anyways, God. Oh, God, I think I'm good. I think I'm fine. The Lakers lost, that's an important game because the Timberwolves are, like, they're competing with the Timberwolves in the standings. Oh, man, I am a certified hater, man. I am not a certified YA hater. I wonder if there are certified YA haters out there. I'm not, man. This was a fun freaking time, and I hope I can freaking render this, like, decently fast. Okay, I think I'm good, yeah. Until next time, man. Until next time. This has been another episode. Oh my God. I needed to get that off my chest. It felt good. Hopefully there's gonna be more publishing book Twitter drama, man. I think it shouldn't be every episode. I think it should be, like, an average of, like, one discussion tweet whatever thing per, like, 3 episodes. I feel like that's, like, an ideal amount. It's just, like, I missed it, man. I missed it. Like, nothing in 2023 so far, man. But this is the first one. This is the first, like, freaking thing of 2023, man. Beautiful, man. It is March, man. How is it already March, man? Oh, man. Anyways, that's it for this episode. Yeah, thank you. And anything else? No? Yeah, thank you, and I will see you next time. So yeah, I'm extending it again, please. I'm not giving up anything for Lent. I did see a fish fry sign. Yeah, $10 per, like, I would assume like 2 fish fillets. Oh man, I fried my own fish. Okay, tilapia, good. Anyways, thank you and good night.